Hi guys, here we have a Whirlpool AWOE8760B washing machine, which has developed a F06 error. Let's give you a demo here. When you turn it on, it fills up the machine with water, but the motor does not turn, and you get this F06 error. Just give it a close up here, and you can see the service light has come on as well in red. More than likely it's a problem with the motor, so we're just going to have a quick look at that today. Firstly, we're going to have to take the motor off, so that's at the back, so I'll just turn this machine around so you can see the area that I'm actually working in today. And also remember to remove the plug from the wall socket. I'm going to remove the back cover. It's a Torx key or a nut, something like a 5mm nut. So I'm just going to undo the 8 screws on the back of here so I can get the cover out of the way. And I'll just put this cover out the way for the meantime. Just move this camera down a bit so you can see where I'm working. I've got to remove this motor. Might be better from this angle actually. So there's just 2 10mm head nuts to remove on this. Screws, sorry, which hold the motor in place. And once they're out of the way, just got to take the belt off. It's simple, just pull it towards you or just pull it off and turn it at the same time, and it'll come off the pulley, and then you just move that out of the way. Now the motor's undone, just got to lever it off. It just sits on 4 lugs on the bottom of the tub. Just get a screwdriver in and just push it back, and it should just pull out from here. And now that I've got the unit off, I've just got to remove all the connections. There's just a cable tidy here, and then we've got the main plug. Just undoing that here, just 2 clips on the top, and pull it back. It should come off like so. Now we've got the motor off. Get on the bench, let me show you. These 2 items here, the black plastic items here, these are the actual brushes. They look worn. I'll show you a bit closer. If you look inside here, I know the one side's barely touching, you probably can't see it from here, and the commutator arcing, it's black. So more than likely it's the brushes that are worn. So I've just got to remove these. First, just got to undo the power connections for the brushes. Now that's out the way. There's just 2 small retaining bolts holding the brushes in place each side, and I'll just get those out the way for you. Just put these screws out of the way so I don't lose them. And there you can see that's the 1 carbon brushes on the one side, and let's get this other side off. Same thing, just 2 bolts, sorry, small bolts, and lift it away. Damn it, one of the nuts have shot off, but I shall retrieve that, the bolt, sorry. And you can see this brush is one even worse. I mean, they're both bad, but that's the worst of the two. I've ordered a set of brushes, $6.99 they cost. You can get them cheaper. And here the brushes here. That's the old one on the left, and that's the new brush on the front. You can see the difference in the carbon. There's nothing left on the one on the left, and the one on the right is probably about an inch and a half or so. They come with this little tab on the top just to hold it in place while transit, but you just want to break that out the way once you're fitting them. So here we've got the motor. A couple of things I've got to do before I fit the brushes. See the carbon, sorry, the commutator. It's dark. I'll just highlight that for you in a sec. If you turn the back there, you'll see the commutators spinning. So that's the commutator there. It's dark. It should be, well, it is brass, so I'm going to use this Scotch Brite, this Brillo pad to clean it. Just turn the motor, as you can see me doing here, and hold the Brillo onto it, and it should come up nice and clean. Brass colour like that. That's nice and clean, and I'll just show you what it looked like before, and this is what it looks like now. So now that that's done, I think we're ready to put the brushes in. So I'll just flick this up, give you a good angle so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So like I said, I removed the brushes previously, so I'm going to fit the new ones. And this is the right hand side, they're not sided, but I'm just putting this side on first. I'll put the nuts in. There's two small notches on the motor itself and two lugs sticking out to the bottom of the brushes. Once you put them in, you should be able to let go of the brushes. Once it's in place correctly, you'll know, because it'll just lock in like so. And now that it's locked in, I can let go, but keep your finger on it anyway because it will spring off. You just want to tighten up the two nuts. I should hold your finger on it while you tighten them up, or while you get the one side on at least. So I've just put just tighten up the two bolts, and I'm just putting the power connector back on for the brush. So that's the one side done. Now I'm going to do the other side. Like I said before, the brush comes with this little tab on the top just to hold the brushes in place. You want to snap that off so the brush comes out fully like this. And I'll just put the nuts in, the bolts, sorry. And let me just show you this before I put it back in. There's two lugs underneath, these two plastic lugs here. Show you the screwdriver. These two plastic lugs here lock into these lugs in the motor housing, and then it's bolted together. So here you can see I'm just lining it up, trying to locate the lugs. Hope the nuts don't pop out, bolts don't pop out in the meantime. And as you can see there, I've got it in place, so I'm able to let it go, but keep your finger on it because it will fly off. So I'm just going to tighten up the bolts now, not too tight, just tighten up both sides. Now that that's done, just a case of connecting the power connector back onto the brush, that side. So that's the motor complete now. And I'll just give you a look inside as I did before with the old brushes. You can see the brushes press up against the commutator, which is this brass thing spinning. That's the actual commutator. The brush presses up against that. And that's complete now, so let's put the motor back into the machine. And it's just the reverse of previously. Just need to plug the power connector back on here firmly. And then I'll just put this cable tidy clip what I undone earlier, put that back on as well. Keeps the cable from rubbing against the side. Now I'm just going to tuck the motor back in, and it fits on these 4 lugs, fit onto 4 lugs on the bottom of the tub. You've got to line them up correctly. There's 2 at the front where you can see, and there's 2 at the back as well, and the back one sits on rubber mounts. So here you can see me just lining it up correctly. And now that I've got it lined up, just double checking. I've just got to put these nuts back in, the screws, sorry, 10mm head. And then I've just got to tighten them back up here. Right, that's the motor fitted. Now I've just got to put the belt back on. It's just kind of the reverse of before. Just make sure the groove side is facing the pulley, and then all I do is hold it onto the pulley of the motor, and then just hold it onto the pulley of the drum, and hold it tight, and then just rotate it round, and it'll just fall on. And then just spin it a couple of times just to make sure it doesn't run off. Yeah, that's fine, that seems to be working fine. So all I've got to do now is put this back cover back on with its 8 bolts. Just tighten that up, and that's finished now. So all I've got to do is reconnect the machine and give it a test, see if it's working, see if the motor spins this time, see if the tub spins. Still got water in it from before. So I've turned it back on. It's doing this reset thing with the lights, but as you can see the motor spun. Whereas before it was giving me the F06, now it looks like it's resetting itself or something. That's why the lights are flicking around like that. And then they've stopped. So I'm just going to do a wash cycle, see how that goes. Just put a bit of cloth in there, and a bit of soap, just to give it a try. Turn it on. Just filling it with water, and you can see successful. Now the drum turns, and there's no F06 error. And then you can see it's nearly completed a full cycle. And this is just the end where it's rinsing it, spinning it out, sorry, 3 minutes left. And it's run fine, there's no problems whatsoever. And that concludes. Once again, thanks for watching, and please subscribe.